welcome to all you Scorpios. This is the last month of the year, December reading for Scorpios of 2019. Very general, of course, but I hope to be precise and concise. I'm going to talk a lot about the eclipse, but there's something happening just for the Scorpios that is super significant, and that is every 2 years Mars shifts into your sign, and that is happening. You're gonna have Mars in your signs, dear Scorpios. So for those of you who say, this is the line, people have been crossing the line too much, you know, those healthy boundaries. It's time now. It's time to put healthy boundaries with other people. Therefore, it's a very good time. It's a very good time for you to start new things, to start new projects with Mars in your sign, of course, in general. If you want to have a tailor-made reading, you just get in touch. But Mars is very good when it comes into your sign to have that. Mars is your ruler, is your ancient ruler, but it's also the planet of initiation. It's the planet of doing new things. It's the planet of drive. So when you've been feeling a bit quite tired, which is normal when you have Mars in your 12th house the month before that, you'll have more energy now. On the other hand, be aware that you're not overdoing it, so that you're not coming over too strong towards others, because in itself Scorpio is already a very strong sign, and with Mars there you could become a bit more not instead of assertive is positive, but arrogant is a bit over the top. Although I think you'll be fine. And this Mars is making great aspects with Neptune and so on. So that gives you gentleness. And by the way, speaking of Neptune in your 5th house for romance, it's really interesting. And if you because the 5th house is the house of romance, Mars in your 1st house, having a nice aspect towards that means that you're having a great time, and in the water element, so in a deep way. So connections, it's really good. It's really from the heart, and that's what Neptune is all about in your 5th house, and it's very romantic as well. For those of you who are in a relationship, you, of course, in a relationship or not, you're having Uranus there in your 7th house of relationships. So there is some changes there for you, definitely, and a bit with bumpy rides every now and then. So if you have been in a very unhealthy relationship with Mars in your 1st house, you can redraw the lines, basically. So use that energy. Now, apart from that really Mars and you getting into action, you taking responsibility, you doing and starting and initiating, there is a whole bunch of energy in your 3rd house. And I've been in Capricorn, so it's an eclipse there as well. And we have the planet Jupiter that shifts every year, entering your 3rd house of Capricorn as well on the 3rd of December. So what does it mean? Jupiter is the planet of meaning, it's the planet of purpose. So you're gonna find way more purpose in the 3rd house area, which is communication, which is siblings, which is the way that you think, maybe studying something new, maybe teaching something new with Jupiter there in your 3rd house, maybe taking more short trips could be as well possible. But anyway, there's a big opportunity for you, not only in December, but also for the whole of 2020 to expand your mind. And but to do it in a Capricornian way, which means with discipline, and which means, you know, step by step. I've been talking about this 3rd house for a long time. There has been quite some tough energy there for you with Saturn there, Pluto there, the South Node there, eclipses there. So for a lot of you, I probably have warned over and over again of not trying to be too rigid, not in the way that you think that is, not trying to stick too much to what you know, and being too attached towards a certain way of thinking. Now, if you've done the work throughout the whole year of trying to detach yourself from not to, the rigid way of thinking of I know best, that kind of thing. What you certainly have with people with Saturn or Pluto in the third, that's sometimes a bit too dogmatic, a bit too rigid in the way that they think. But if you know that and you've worked hard to overcome that, Jupiter in the third house gives you like this reward, so to speak. So for some of you who studied or who have been studying, there could be a reward here in December or in January where you see that all that hard work wasn't for nothing. But if you have neglected that part of consciousness, that the way that you think is the best and it's only your way of thinking, and it's like I just want to influence other people and I know best, then of course this very nice Jupiter won't be enough transiting your third house to give you a very expansive and comfortable and very positive energy there. So it really depends on what's been going on throughout the whole year, how you dealt with times of feeling restricted in your thinking, of feeling that, what Scorpios do have a lot, and it's one of their pitfalls. It is tunnel vision. And sometimes this is interesting because when you want to understand something, you have to go to the root of the matter. But you don't have to go that deep that you are lost in the abyss. So it's about that I'm thinking. I know this is not about relationships. This is not about work. This is really about the way that you think. And that can, this alteration, this change that is happening. And this is karmic because Jupiter joins the south node. So it's like now the abundance that is there and that is quite karmic, the abundance of knowledge, the abundance of an understanding of the world in a wiser way. So how beautiful is that? Because now the Scorpionic people who are normally very intense and very deep and very focused, they have now that helicopter view as well. And if you've got those two things, I mean, that's amazing. That's very interesting energy. So yes, when it comes to relationships for the month of December, it seems pretty well. You can redraw the lines where you're not content when it comes to a certain relationship. And when it comes to work, actually, I think the way that you are communicating, the way that you are interacting, the way that you are, maybe if you have a business of your own, the way that you are selling yourself, it becomes more authentic. It becomes more meaningful. Having said that, so all in all, not a bad month, but it's a Scorpionic month because this eclipse, by the way, I almost forgot. The eclipse belongs to the Saros family 3 South, which is it's not an easy eclipse at all. It's a very transformative eclipse, but that's your cup of tea, right? You as the Scorpion, you know that you have to let go of certain attachments at a certain time to be reborn again. And it's the eclipse is happening on a very positive fixed star, Polis, which is very successful. And together with that Jupiter there on the south node, I think we will balance this difficult eclipse a bit more than we have had throughout the year. Having said that, I wish you a very good month. If you're celebrating Christmas, have a very, very good Christmas there. And if you want a reading, just get in touch. Thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye.